Hi everybody, I hope that you are having a fantastic day. So today I want to talk about lack and how lack, if we're not careful, can completely rule our lives. And even though we're striving to live a better life and live this amazing life of our dreams, actually the feelings of lack can really stand in our way. Lack's something, or the feeling of lack is something that I myself have bought into for years, and it's probably driven me in an unhealthy way to get where I am today, but to get where I was last year, which was burnt out, experiencing chronic stress, a cancer diagnosis, and my life effectively, without sounding too dramatic, falling apart. And this all stemmed from just being constantly terrified that my luck was going to run out and that everything was going to collapse around me. And it kind of did if I didn't keep moving. And ultimately it all stems from a feeling of just not being good enough. When we're experiencing a fear or the feeling of scarcity, it's because we're experiencing not enough. And that might be there is not enough money, that might be there is not enough love, there is not enough time, there's not enough money for me to create the things I want to create. There is not enough money in my bank account for me to take that break that I so need. Now that was me last year, or not even last year, for probably the last 5 years, there's not enough money for me to stop and have a break and look after myself. And then I don't have enough time to go to the gym. And then you're experiencing feelings of being unhealthy, potentially being overweight, potentially being, just feeling sluggish and having no energy, which then leads to illness and disease. And it can stem from feeling that there's not enough time. Time's running out. You'll never enough hours in the day. How many times have we said that? I know I said that bloody loads, even throughout COVID, when I wasn't traveling, when I wasn't doing anything. I was literally sat working from my home office, and I thought there weren't enough hours in the day for me to do XYZ. So lack is something that is something that we're programmed to believe that there is, and it all stems from the survival instinct, and that we have to survive. Our brains are there to help us survive. They are help us to run if we need to run, freeze if we need to freeze. I recently wrote a piece for my website, and I spoke about imagine you walk into Waitrose and you need to go and get whatever it is for the dinner party you're holding tomorrow night for friends, and you've not been able to see your friends for months because of COVID and lockdowns and whatever, and all your friends are coming over, and you've even bought the expensive wine, and you walk into Waitrose, and then all of a sudden you just stop because something's not right. You don't quite know what it is, so you stop, and you're having heart palpitations, and you're feeling stress, you're feeling anxiety, and something in your vicinity is off. Anyway, you turn around just slightly and you see this saber-toothed tiger with its long teeth and its massive body that will no doubt tear you apart. And you experience this, and your brain goes, right, do I run, freeze, or fight? So, fight or flight. What do I do? And your brain is trying to figure out, if I run, the thing is going to catch me and is going to tear me to shreds. If I freeze, it's going to sense me, it's probably going to tear me to shreds. If I fight, well, I'm definitely going to lose and it's going to tear me to shreds. And so, our brain reacts like this to the problems that we have today while we're walking to Waitrose. When we're walking to Waitrose today, we are not going to come across a saber-toothed tiger, or even, not in the streets of London are we going to come across something like that, unless, yes, there might be a potential dangerous situation, and that is where our fight or flight really comes in handy. But as we're generally walking to Waitrose on a Friday after work, I use Waitrose because it's literally at the end of my road and it's about a 4-minute walk. And if you listen to the thoughts in your mind, generally they're worries, and you jump into conclusions about problems that don't really exist. They're not really true, but they're there and they're very real, and your brain is trying to figure out, do you run, fight, or what do you do? So our brain is still programmed as it would have been to help us fight and survive when we were cavemen, and when we were having to fight these saber-toothed tigers and all of these mammals that could kill us, and when we had to actually hunt rather than go to Waitrose to get our expensive wine to go with our delicious meal that we're going to cook our friends. And this is where I believe the feelings of fear stem from. And those feelings of fear are then what produces feelings of lack, feelings of not enough, feelings of scarcity in our lives. And these feelings and beliefs don't serve us. And what we don't realise, and what we're not told, because there are massive industries out there that need to make money, we are not told that we can choose a different story. We can choose something different in our inner dialogue and how we carry ourselves, that will help us to live a happier life with beliefs that do serve us, and beliefs of love and abundance, rather than fear and lack. So think of, and I've used this example before, but when people get, when especially women, we start to age and we might see a wrinkle or two, and our hair might start to go grey, and it's very widely accepted that we use anti-wrinkle creams, and nowadays we can use there's Botox, and you can barely walk down the street without seeing a lady with fillers in her lips, and it's very widely accepted that we go and have our hair dyed once a month. I mean, I bleached my hair from the age of my teenage years until last year when it all fell out, because we're sold we want to change something, and as we're getting older we don't want the grey hairs. Is it Davina McCall on the adverts who gets rid of every grey, and that's widely accepted, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but what I'm saying is the reason that is the case is because industries have sold us that we're not enough as we are. And they've done that to make money. They've done that to survive themselves. It's clever marketing. It's not necessarily done from a malicious place. It's done from a place of, we're a business. We need to make money. How do we make money? I have this product that I really believe in. We're all consumers, and it's just how the world goes round. So, but we might consume less if we felt less lack, and if we felt more love in ourselves than feeling that we need to change something outside of ourselves. An example would be from my life at the moment, actually. So I have been experiencing my own feelings of lack, and everybody does in some way. And you know, I work on releasing these beliefs every day, and I choose a new story. But over the last few days, I've really been struggling with how I look. Throughout cancer, I lost a lot of weight. So my weight was down to probably one of the lowest it ever has been. And I lost all the hair on my body. And eventually I lost the hair on my head as well. I even lost my eyelashes and my eyebrows. You know, my eyebrows are effectively drawn on. I have eyelash extensions on. And at the moment, I'm really struggling with how to style my hair. And it's caused me quite a bit of distress because I don't feel feminine. I don't feel beautiful. I don't feel like all the other girls walking down the street. I walk out the house and it's going to make me cry. I effectively cover myself from top to bottom because I just want to hide. So I put a hat on because I want to hide my short hair, because I've not figured out a nice way of styling it yet. I wear a massive coat. Well, it is cold outside, so I'll let myself off with that one. But you know, I don't feel like I can dress in a feminine way. I haven't felt good enough ultimately, and that has come from how my body has looked and changed. Now this morning I've had a bit of a revelation and a realization. I sat and I did an incredible meditation, and you know, I've actually even managed to style my hair okay, but I feel very different than I have done for the last few days. But it was making me really low, and it was making me really frustrated, kind of like speaking to my mum about, we're going to a wedding next week and I don't know what to do with my hair, and shall I just wear my wig? I went out for lunch with a friend at the weekend and I put my wig on for the first time in weeks because I didn't feel pretty enough. I didn't feel acceptable enough, and that all stems from these feelings of lack and not being good enough. And you know, it's ridiculous. I really need to cut myself a fucking break because I've just beaten cancer, and unfortunately the wiring in my brain is so hardwired that even though I've just done this incredible thing and I've just beaten cancer and I've just, you know, I've beaten the odds, and I still don't feel good enough. And that that's really heartbreaking, actually. If a friend was sat in front of me telling me that, oh, they don't feel good enough, they are this, they're that, they feel like this, you know, I've also put weight on and I'm like, oh my God, I need to get this weight off. No, I fucking don't. I've started going back to the gym, so I'm getting stronger. Muscle weighs more than fat. And like, my body has been through the absolute ringer. For nearly 4 months, I couldn't eat properly. And now I'm eating decent meals every day. I'm getting more protein in. I am eating a bit of sugar, and I think that's I'm just need to curb that, because sugar also doesn't actually have a great effect on how you think. Refined sugar. So those little boxes of truffles, I need to pack in, stuffing those in my face. But you know, like, my body needs to get strong. I do not need to be telling myself that I am not thin enough. It's ridiculous. And you know, there's still barely an ounce of fat on my body, but it's how we've been programmed. And yeah, so I just, there are ways that we can release those thoughts of lack and embrace thoughts of we are enough. I do it every day. I journal. I meditate on it, and you know, sometimes it's easier than other times. I follow guided meditations that help me release old negative beliefs. But ultimately, I think the important thing to know is that we can choose again at any time. Our reality is very much a reflection of what we think and what we believe, especially about ourselves. If we believe that we are lack, if we believe that we are not enough, then our world is going to reflect that. And again, this goes beyond the law of attraction and manifestation. It's just about, our bodies are energy. If we're vibrating, if our frequency is vibrating at an energy of lack, that is just what our electromagnetic field is going to attract. And so if we vibrate at a frequency of love and a frequency of abundance and a frequency of knowing that we are enough and that we are worthy and that we are perfect just as we are, we're perfectly imperfect spirits having this perfectly imperfect human experience, that if we embrace that and we vibrate at an energy of that, we're going to attract some incredible things into our lives. And I've seen it and I've experienced it. I think the whole of the last 4 months, like through my chemo and surgery experience, that is what I was focusing on. Anytime I spoke to a friend, I was explaining that I was a miracle and I had a miraculous result. So, we really do get back from the world what we put out. So if we're putting out thoughts of lack and thoughts of not enough money, not enough beauty, not enough, I am not enough, this is not enough, that's what we're going to get back. So please, if you want to change your life, just try and be conscious of your thoughts. What thoughts are you putting out there? How do you feel? What's your energy frequency like? There are loads of ways to lift your frequency, to lift your energy, and they can start with a meditation. Awareness is a higher frequency than fear and lack. So if you're aware that you're feeling fear, that's great. You are already in a higher frequency. You're gonna feel better. And then from there, you can start to bring in feelings of love, bring in feelings of being enough. And if we tell ourselves that we love ourselves, and I've been through this before as well, if you tell yourself that you love yourself and sit and feel in bed at night, lie there and just say, I love you, bloody well done today. You smashed another day on planet Earth. Congratulations. And just list the ways that you love yourself, list the ways that you're amazing, sit and write it out. Just free write on how incredible you are. That will raise your frequency, that will raise your energy. And the more you do that, the more regularly you do this and you start to believe, then just watch your life change before your eyes. I mean, I promise you that I'm not bullshitting you. We can change our BS. And somebody who I follow, Dr. Kim Duramo, we can change our BS, and our BS being our belief systems. I actually think Tony Robbins uses that as well. Anyway, we can shift our BS and we can change our belief systems into ones of I am enough, I am love, I am abundance, I am beauty, I am confidence, I am whatever you want to be. Whatever you want to be, you already are. It is so important to remember that when you're going about when you think about how you want to change your life. If you want to be rich, you are rich. If you want to be loved, remember that you are love, and that lack is not true. Abundance and love are truth. Lack and fear are not. I'm going to leave you with that. I hope this resonates and I hope this helps. So many links in the description if you want to learn more about who I am and what I do. And I will leave you with you knowing and me knowing that we're all just love and we're all infinite beings, and I love you. Thank you.